so much, and around that time, I went to Tokyo, I went to Japan, and I sat in the basement of Sony with the PlayStation 3 when it was like this big silver box with like a red button. And like the night before in the hotel where, the Ted Carson and team were like writing a little algorithm sort of engine thing to run on it, and we're breaking it on the day, and we don't speak Japanese. It was an amazing cultural experience. But with both, seeing that cell architecture and understanding how it worked early on, we were very lucky. I think we were the first Westerners devs to go out there, and to just sort of see the difference between that and an Xbox 360, right? And like the discipline in how you wrote the code and structured the code base to take advantage of the two pieces of hardware. It was, for me, like a fascinating experience. And we were working on Grand Theft Auto 4 and Redemption, and I left. It was just my time, and I sort of buggered off, and then I was really, I was obsessed with Neil Stephenson's book Snow Crash, and like the concept of the metaverse, and the free-to-play business models coming over from Korea. So I was like, I want to make like a free-to-play game, and I was making this game called Cement Factory, and it was like a team-based shooter, but kind of like an MMO / sort of multiplayer, kind of would be like a battle royale now a little bit. And I had this whole backstory, and I actually raised some money off of it, but 2008 the market completely collapsed. It was like
true.
And the people that I raised money from were like, they were constrained, should we say, and they said, look, can you just make a console game? We can sell that. And partners of mine at the time were like really good friends with Kevin Lyles over at Def Jam Enterprises. And they were like, look, Kevin wants to make a hip-hop karaoke game. And I was like, fuck yeah, I'll do that. And I met Kevin and had an immediate connection with him. And I'm standing there with Def Jam, right? Here's Leo Cohen, here's Cohen. And I met up with him, which was an incredible experience. And I loved hip-hop when I was 16 years old. And then here I am. I've never made a karaoke game before. And I teamed up with Terminal Reality, who I had met, through my early days at Take-Two, and we made Def Jam Rap Star, and Konami published it. And then, I kind of really was looking at mobile, and that's when, so I made Def Jam Rap Star, in 2010, 2011. And then I was sort of really into like mobile and kind of the whole, user acquisition, and again, the free-to-play business models and microtransactions, and like the concept of lifetime value, and, just keeping gamers inside a single experience for longer than 2 weeks. Yeah, right. And I think that sort of convoluted path took me all the way to esports. And now for esports, I'm really I love sport, and I get to work with Major League Soccer, NHL, Major League Baseball, the leagues here in America. We work with a number of individual sports properties, whether it be Manchester City, or New York Red Bulls, and then the Engine Shop, which acquired me and my partner Scott, who came from SA Studios. We got acquired like 2 years ago, and they have a load of very big, fabulous clients, right? Anheuser-Busch, Mercedes-Benz, Greyhound, right? Hilton Hotels, American Family Insurance, and sort of increasingly they are now realizing, when they look at their sponsorship dollars and where to put them and where the younger generations are, that gaming is becoming increasingly important. And so we've been able to just have a very sort of seamless, easy transition conversations with them, and with everything that I've done, able to sort of provide strategy work for them. And then a lot of what we do is also we do organize these tournaments, both offline, online and offline, and we do live event production. So we helped Major League Soccer launch EMLS. And we won a Tempest Esports Award their first year for one of our EMLS streams. We work with Major League Baseball, funny enough, with Jamie Lease, who runs the gaming division. He used to be at Take-Two. We've known each other a long time, great respect, great friendship, and it sort of found a way to work with each other again. They have a great property called Home Run Derby VR, It's not available for consumers apart from during the All-Star, Little League World Series and other tentpole events, and you go in the batting cage and it's a VR experience and you hit home runs, and in an All-Star we have like 5,000 people come through the cages and we run a leaderboard.
Wow.
And then on the Monday, on site, we've like invited the top 32 back with custom-made jerseys. They've got gloves, bats, all this kind of cool merch. And we do like a 3-hour live show on Twitch, and they compete, and we have a winner, and the winner gets tickets to like, the home run derby, game the next night, and it's fantastic. It's great tie into baseball and a great fan activation for all ages. NHL, we help executive produce the World Championships, and then with Anheuser-Busch, we've been working for a few years, and Bud Light got in with the official beer of Overwatch last year, and we activated at the Dallas homestand and the Atlanta homestand, and then the finals in Philly. This year we're working with Bud Light, right, and on their experiential gaming as one of their agency partners. We just helped and just facilitate. They've started a big charity called Bud Light Self-Serve Charity Royale. And it's a fantastic, tournament playing Call of Duty, Warzone, and it's 24 traditional athletes. Every athlete that's participating, Bud Light Seltzer are making quite a significant charity donation, and then the second place and winner get much bigger donations made on their behalf. We made, Bud Light Seltzer made a $25,000 charity contribution to the Call of Duty Empowerment Fund, which we're all big fans of because we love the vets, right? And obviously want to see, them being supported as they integrate back into society and help them get work. And, for me, I'm a fanboy of Activision Blizzard. Call of Duty on the Xbox was really what got me into like console multiplayer.
Really?
I do love MOBAs, I do love League, and so when Battles of the Storm came out, right? I got a beta key and I crushed it and I loved it and played it for a long time. And I've always, stuck with Call of Duty. So that's been fantastic. And then, charity is all the vogue right now, right? We're all just coming together and helping each other. And EMLS have got another great initiative going, and it's on, Fox Sports 1 every Sunday night. We had the first show. Last Sunday. The next one is this Sunday at 7. And again, we've got the EMLS FIFA players partnering up with the MLS club, right? One of their players who fancies himself at FIFA. And actually, so far, like they've played, they're really good. It's like highly entertaining. And so I have a counterpart, Scott Debson. He was at SA Studios, again, who I met making San Andreas. They did a lot of movie launches. They were working with like Square and with I think it was Dusex, right? They made this amazing carbon fiber, had like a lot of marketing, experiential activations around the launch of the games. We then teamed up on the League stuff, and then in I think like 2015 we did a joint venture with Machinima, who were like an MCN of YouTubers and did great digital online activations, but weren't really sort of built out to do the live components, and their clients were seeking more of that. And sort of at SA, we were really good at the experiential. So we did a JV with them, knowing that a lot of brands were seeking information around esports, but didn't know what to do, right? And were sort of, very much looking for information and weren't, spending money. And so we started to sort of formalize that. And then Machinima was purchased by Warner's. So we were like, all right, the JV's over. And the same day, a friend of mine, Cinnamon Booth, called me up and said, look, I've got the gamer agency. We're running the esports studio in the Microsoft flagship store on Fifth Avenue. Will you come in and run it? I've got a broadcast team. I've got a scope of work with Microsoft. And so I go into this amazing esports studio on Fifth Avenue, and there's a scope of work to make 10 tournaments a month, live streams, shows, right, around esports a month. Okay. And we made over 150, between over 2017 and 2018. We did 10 shows a month, all 3 hours, all live, we put them together, got the players in, got the audience in, got the shoutcasters in, and we did everything. From community events around, FIFA and League of Legends and Counter-Strike, to up to the Mountain Dew competition was held there. We did Pro Point Madden events. We had a crazy Madden tournament with all the top boys, including the kids that were heartbreakingly down, right, in Florida, right, when we had that incident, which kind of, we all had,
put a highlight on
was the top. Oh man, yeah, and that was a heartbreaking day because we knew all those kids, right? And then and we did and we did Pro Point, Gears of War, and it was amazing to see all the different communities around, whether it be Gears of War, whether it be Destiny, whether it be Halo, whether it be League of Legends, Madden, FIFA, and all the local kids in the community. And it was an incredible experience where we really learned how to make a show, an esports show, right? And a live stream for Twitch or Mixer. And from that, is the core team that we've had at Engine Shop, our show producer, our production manager, our tournament organizer, and our gamer tech, and plus a wider group of freelancers. And we've made so many shows together, and that's our live broadcast team. And, I'm just kind of rambled a bit, sorry, but that's sort of it in a nutshell.
Nah, it's okay to ramble, man. You've done so much and been a pillar for not only in gaming but esports, man. I really wanted to highlight your story, and if you don't mind, we'll go over the 30 minutes if you have time. But
sure, let's do it. Let's do it.
Yeah, so and I want to kind of, I have some questions about early on in your career, but let's focus on the point that you're dealing with major sports and esports being embedded in that culture. Did you ever see that happening right off, or is it something that just fell on your lap? Because it sounds like throughout your career you built some great relationships and it just kept you going into different lanes.
Well, it was interesting because, back in 2015, Scott Debson, my partner in crime at Engine Shop, over at SA Studios, they were working with Major League Soccer and they were working with the Consumer Products Group. And they had just done a collaboration with LA Galaxy and the designer of Undefeated, James Bond, and they made a sort of limited set of merchandise that was, I think, was sold in Urban Outfitters. It was the first time that Major League Soccer had done a collab on the lifestyle front, and that we had merchandise from an MLS soccer club sort of being sold at retail outside of the club shop. Mm-hmm. And we were talking and we're sort of looking, and we were FIFA is wide open in North America from an esports perspective.
It is,
and we were very aware of all the cats in the UK that were streaming, and had 15 million followers on YouTube, and all of the competitive circuits that were going on in Europe and America, where there was a big scene, but it was kind of being overshadowed by Europe, and there wasn't any real love going on, right? And so we were sort of banging on the door of Major League Soccer for a while about FIFA, you can own it, it's wide open. And then the relationship between EA and FIFA and Major League Soccer started to kind of accelerate as more of the Major League Soccer clubs were being played in the game, more of the FIFA audience were getting familiar with the MLS clubs, and up to 65% of new season ticket holders came in because they to an MLS club because they played FIFA. So all the data was aligning, the sentiment was aligning, and then there was the team over from Nan to James Ruth, to now Bayonne West, they put some people in place where it was let's formalize this, let's focus on this. And we spent, we love, in Europe it's football, right? But we love soccer. We love American football, especially both Scott and I. So we have great respect for the sports. And so there was a lot of passion that we just had with it. and then and there was also that